It's your boy Nizzy, and welcome back to another high school league recap for Rocket League Division 2 for the eSport Company's HSL. We had Windber up against Berlin Brothers Valley, Salisbury Elk versus Bishop Carroll, Penn Trafford taking on Forest Hills, and Gateway versus Hollidaysburg. Let's take a look at our top 5 plays of the week. Starting off at number 5, it's Mega Blaziken laying one off of the backboard for Strike Force to finish up in front for Forest Hills to win a game in overtime. 3-2 was the final scoreline there. Moving on to number 4, it is Random with just an insane backflip while controlling the ball. I don't even know how this happened. This is insane by Windber. Take a look at this again. Gets a backflip. Another half rotation. It's just undefendable. Let's take a look at number 3. It's going to be it's going to be a save from Zedarks with a backflip save. And this clip keeps going because this actually turns into a goal to make things 3-2. Huge play for Gateway with that backflip save turned into goal. Let's take a look at number 2. It's going to be a Random again. Take a look at Random going up the wall. Tries maybe to go for the flip reset. Doesn't have any boost, so he just goes straight down and puts that ball on a line. Take a look at this again. Runs out of boost. I don't know what to do. Let's just do this. Bang! Pinches it against the ground. Caught Aromi off guard. And your number 1 play for this week is going to go to Gateway, making another pair of saves. It's Zedarks in the net. Always reliable in net, but he's going to share a couple of saves because it's Alpha Key getting that save for play number 1 of the week. Windber wins 3-0. Forest Hills 3-1, and Hollidaysburg 3-0 over Gateway. Let's look at our standings. It's Windber and Forest Hills in a tie for first place, 2-0, but it's very, very early in the season. We'll see you guys next week. Nizzy's out.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to week 3 of the most generic intro, of the most exciting high school Rocket League within the state of Pennsylvania. My name is, once again, Max Formal. Believe it or not, it hasn't changed. Actually, no, wait. I did just change it. I did just change my name. For the first time ever with my stupid intro spiel, I have changed my name from week to week. But yes, my name is Formal, Max, whatever you want to call me. Joining me, it is going to be Granticus for the first time here on this stream as we get ready for another fun event. Various high schools competing, various levels of expertise. It's that weird hodgepodge mix, and I'm excited to be here. Grant, how are you feeling today?
Doing great, and I'm excited to be here as well. Looking forward to see what these students have in store for us today.
Yeah, I'm going to be keen to see it as well. Now, obviously, it's only week 3 of this event, so we're still in those early stages, but this is where we really want to start seeing things start to click together for a lot of these schools. Obviously, it is a journey. That's kind of what high school esports is all about, building those regiment skills, communication, learning how to train, learning how to prioritize important aspects in your life, and this is where it all could be starting to come together for some of these teams. But before we get too into it, I do want to quickly highlight what we are as well. Now, the Esports Company High School League, it operates out of Jonestown, Pennsylvania. We have 12 teams across 3 different games. We're talking Valorant, Overwatch, and of course, Rocket League. What we're going to be watching here is Division 2 of our Rocket League, which is essentially like the junior varsity. It's not necessarily separated by ranks per se. It's just these are the kind of more up-and-comers in this league. Now, all these schools, as mentioned before, are participating from the great state of Pennsylvania. The feed, it's going to be in there. We're going to have our fancy overlay. This is week 3 of our 6-week regular season. It's kind of a single round robin being played out. And then after that, the playoffs will take place in late April, along with the championship in late May. Our games are going to be best of 5s. And speaking of those games, I think it's high time we take a look at that schedule right now and kind of see who's going to be up against whom today.
Ooh.
Yeah, look at that. So yeah, there we have it. It's going to be opening up with Windber versus Penn Trafford. Then, of course, we're going to get Bishop Carroll taking on Forest Hills. Berlin Brothers Valley is going to be taking on Gateway, and Hollidaysburg is going to be taking on the Salisbury Elk. If we can move along then from the standings, we can kind of see which of these games are going to be a bit more important. And I mean, the two that I'm looking at, to be honest, Grant, is going to be this first one and our second one. So we're kind of getting those bangers out early.
Yeah, kind of just looking at it, seeing Windberg with that 2-0 going into week 3, looking strong, and we're getting ready to see him here in a couple minutes, along with Forest Hills also 2-0. Then you got Hollidaysburg, Penn, Trafford, Gateway, and Bishop Carroll all 1-1. Then Berlin Brother Valleys and Salisbury Elk 0-2, looking to get their first win here in week 3.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting, I think, for a couple of those teams down at the bottom when that opportunity will present itself. As mentioned before, all the teams participating in Div 2, they kind of come from different levels of experience. And those teams at the top, they have been playing a little bit longer than some of the teams at the bottom, and that's okay. I mean, that's kind of what this league is all about. It's about that growth, being put into positions where you're going to test, where you're going to challenge yourself. And I feel like going into this first game, Penn Trafford, they're going to be the team challenging themselves a bit more, because Windber before has looked like it's been by far one of the more consistent teams in this event.
And just even like we mentioned earlier, they're 2-0, so they're definitely one of the stronger teams to keep an eye out for. So Penn Trafford definitely has the work cut out for them. Definitely want to take a dub here if possible.
Yeah, I think everyone's going to be looking for those dubs for sure. Personally, for me, dubs are nice. I still want to see team growth. Obviously, you know, you want to stay in that top 4 for the playoff situation. And out of 8 teams, it can get a little dicey, especially all those teams that are 1-1. I think they'd want to stay above that 500 line, but strength of schedule does become a thing, especially as we move on. Like, realistically, when I'm looking at these standings, the teams that I really feel need to win today are kind of the teams like Gateway, as well as Hollidaysburg, the ones who are kind of going up against matchups that might be seen to be almost easier for them. They're the ones that you can ill afford to lose. So I do believe the players are going to be jumping onto the pitch any given moment. We're going to be going Mansfield for our first game in this series. And as soon as the players do jump on the pitch, we will be going straight into it. The blue side will consist of Windber. Penn Trafford will be in, what color do you want to call that, Grant? It kind of looks like a beige to me.
Kind of like a beige, yellowish orange, kind of.
I want to call it beige. I don't know. It's a really nice color palette, actually. I know some of the team matchups, the colors get, like, frankly, they don't gel is the nicest way to say it. But this color combo, I like this one. It's very Penn State, and that's very fitting from where we are. Either way, it does look like players are jumping into the map right now as we're waiting to see one team's in. Both teams are in. 3, 2, 1 underway. Windber again in blue, Penn Trafford in the color that we just kind of made up. I'm going to call it Plello.
Plello, that's an interesting name.
Yeah, it's because, I don't know, the first thing I saw near my desk was a pillow, and it's kind of yellowish, and I stamped them together, and this is what we get.
Yeah, that definitely works. We're definitely here now and ready to go. Already getting a nice shot coming in from Step Bro, but Wade Esports able to be there. Do get the save. Burb looking to try to get the 50, gets beat in the process. Step Bro going up. Young Bro, Robo, just outside the post. Able to take it. See it Thieves over to the wall. Able to take it down one. Able to put it in mid. Able to keep the momentum going. A nice kill by Young Robo. Giving it to Burb. Burb trying to get it around, but Wade is able to get the touch. Giving it to Step Bro. Step Bro in the corner. Able to get it past one with a 50. Definitely. Ooh, what a shot though, coming in from Young Robo.
So something I'm noticing already, particularly from the Windber attack, that has me a little bit nervous is they haven't been in sync. And I want to go back to that very first play, the Young Bro double touch attempt. That was a fantastic sort of setup. It was a good individual play. As that was happening, the other two teammates were either sitting in their own side's box or their own side's backboard. And the issue, why that's an issue, there was no way we were going to see a banging clear from the Penn Trafford side, but just like how slowly Youngborough was kind of attacking it, had there been any sort of defensive touch, it would have been a small dribbler. And when your two sort of supporting actors are all the way back on your own side of the pitch, it means no follow-up. And then immediately following that, they did try to adjust, but since then, they've kind of been over-adjusting, and since then, the spacing has been super, super tight from the Windber side, so it looks like in this first 2 minutes of play, they're still trying to sort themselves out. Case in point, Sea of Thieves down the middle.
Banger clear coming out from Sea of Thieves. It was sent right down the middle, and it looked like both of the Windber players went off to the side to get boost in that process. Left their net wide open, and that's what gave Penn their first goal of the game, taking an early lead. Just 3 minutes left here in the first game. Looking to see Young Robo with the shot, but that's unable to get the touch and able to put it in, tying us up 1-1.
It looks like maybe, I still don't want to say Winborough's positional mishaps have been fixed just yet. That was a nice pass play. I don't like the double commit that followed it through. What I do like, though, on the Penn Trafford side is how they were actually able to punish sort of these positional missteps coming from Windborough. That's a good sign moving forward as a little bit of technical difficulties. I gotta keep your eyes on Young Robo right now. They seem to be having a little bit of internet issues, and considering how strong mechanically this player's looked already, that could be a big blow for the favorites in this match. Sea of Thieves makes the save from underneath.
Just barely able to get that save, but definitely having the Skyline's a nice touch when it comes to something like that. Able to get a nice touch.
Oh, that's a great 50.
Sea of Thieves, second boomer clear from their side of the pitch, and able to put it right into an open net from Windber. What a shot. Sea of Thieves definitely showing up here today.
Yeah, and that's the second time we've seen that sort of dunk-esque clear. That one a little bit more than a dunk than the first one. Hold the thought, Youngborough off the kickoff is going to go ahead, take advantage of the triple commit coming from the Penn Trafford side, and we got ourselves a very back-and-forth game right now.
And it always starts off with Sea of Thieves. If he gets a banger of a clear, somebody from Windber is bound to answer the respond to his clear to get a score to tie us up. Just under half of the game left now. Sea of Thieves looking to get a flick, but Young Robo was not having anything of it and did not want him to have a chance. Depo able to pass it to Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves up into the corner, looking to put it towards mid, but Young Robo definitely showing those mechanics. Like you mentioned, definitely the one you don't want to have any technical difficulties because he's the one that's helping. Oh, we have a Rule 1 up on...
Youngborough's back. Yeah, Young Robo was sitting back that time around. So, like, I am noticing the adjustments coming through, and I'm also noticing the Rule 1, by the way, between Step Pro and WASD. Just have a look at that, have a sensible chuckle. Double commit aerial attempt, that was never going to work from that angle, and because of the Rule 1, Sea of Thieves could just roll it in.
Sea of Thieves is the main one that I'm seeing that's always has a chance to get and always has an open net to work with. Windber definitely kind of overshot it and overstayed their welcome with that double commit aerial, especially with their third being in a Rule 1. It definitely hit them hard right there.
Yeah, that was an interesting one, and again off the kickoff as well, pressure coming from the Penn Trafford side. The point I was trying to make, though, before I was so rudely interrupted by the Rule 1 and the goal, was that Windber looked to be trying to over-adjust by keeping someone constantly in that back goal area. At the moment, right now, it's WASD Esports, who should be able to get the clear, and is successful in doing so. And wow, I like this adjustment because it's probably going to mitigate some of those deep clears that we've been seeing coming from Sea of Thieves. I don't typically like stagnant players on the opposite side of the pitch. I'd like to see him take a little bit further forward and a little bit more proactive plays when rotating through the midfield. Yet, if this deep third man works for them, I'm not going to be one to complain. It hasn't worked yet, though.
Very true. Even when that happens, like, yeah, you can have somebody back, but just don't have them sitting in the net, because then they're just kind of, like, yeah, they can get a save, especially if Sea of Thieves gets a clear. we're going to take a hold on that conversation. Young Robo showing off those mechanics, able to come in off the wall, gets a flip reset, able to hit it, and just to drill it in, not giving Stepbro any room to save the ball. What a shot.
Yeah, the classic reset into a dunk in front of the net. There you go, I see you, and that's why it's so important that young Robo on this Windber side actually has an internet connection that will allow them to play. And the thing that I find interesting about this team right now, and this could be a problem from Windber in the future, young Robo seems to be the key driving force for this squad, and they're kind of using this player a little bit as a crutch, I feel like, in response to having poor positioning, I suppose, or odd commits or double commits. They were starting to feel really reliant on one player, and while that might be working in this matchup, you can see Penn Trafford, they're still finding opportunities to capitalize on these strange mistakes. 0 seconds remaining, ball should hit the ground, or will it? It's actually going to get close to the net, Sea of Thieves does down it, and we have a Game 1 overtime.
Exactly what you love to see when watching Rocket League. It's just going into overtime. It's great, but WASD just doesn't care. Just puts it in the back of the net.
Not allowed to enjoy your overtime. Not allowed to enjoy it. Just when you thought we were going to get a nice, thrilling overtime. Nap.
WASD is just going to stick this in the back of the net. Windber able to take game number 1. That's the Windber we all like to see.
Yeah, it's a pretty good showing for Windber actually out of the gate. Now, and if I'm coming across perhaps as a little bit critical of the Windber side and talking a bit more, it's because they are coming in as the favorites, right? So they're kind of the team that I want to hone in on and figure out why they've been undefeated so far, what makes this team one of the favorites in this league. And while, again, I've been super impressed with the individual mechanic plays, specifically from Young Robo so far in this game, I still think this team has some areas where they can work on. Again, I've not been a fan of the rotations. I don't like keeping a player as a goal keep, essentially, which they only did a couple times. Towards the end of the game, they did stop doing that, and they were playing more for the midfield. So I have been seeing in-game improvements from them. That is a plus. But those 3 goals that they allowed, I'd say 2 of them were actually quite easily preventable. They only just got kind of punished by improper rotations. Granted, credit to Sea of Thieves for finding those openings and taking advantage of them. That's a good sign. That's what Penn Trafford has to do if they're going to win this matchup. But I can see Windber kind of cleaning up their rotations, locking down that middle of the field, and starting to look a lot more dominant from here.
Definitely, especially like they did originally have WASD in the net. If you are going to have, like, out of the experience that I've had, it's like I used to be somebody that was like that. I always sat in the back of the net. Then it's like as you go, like, move up, it's like a lot of people just telling me it's like what you need to do is like kind of stay around midfield, because then it helps with the rotations, and that's definitely something that they needed, and they definitely pulled that out, and that's what gave them game number 1. But now we're here in game number 2, and there's Young Robo right off the bat, a nice little air dribble.
But yeah, I want to carry off your point as well, though, about that sort of midfield line. I mean, yeah, Young Robo does another dribble. That's great. It wasn't as good as the reset, buddy. Step it up. But no, going back to your previous point about the middle pitch, it's all about understanding the tempo into where you're going to position yourself. And for a team like Windber that's so reliant on these solo plays where Young Robo will actually slow the tempo down, you don't need to keep someone back, and that might be my favorite goal yet. Finally, we see a pass play out of Windber, and of course it is lethal.
Indeed. And just talking about Young Robo and those solo plays, and then here he comes getting a nice pass to WASD to get that top bins goal, giving Windber with just 15 seconds in a 2-goal lead. That's exactly what Windberg wants, and they might be looking to get a 3rd here.
Yeah, they're going to probably find... Why did you lie? Why did you say it was a 2-goal lead? I see 3 now. I see a 3-0.
I said they were looking for a 3-goal. I didn't say it.
I heard you say 2-0 lead.
Yeah,
I'm looking at it right now, and now it says 3-0.
No. Now it says 3-0. I said they had a 2-goal lead, and they were looking for the 3rd.
But yeah, no, obviously that was a fantastic little goal right there, and this is kind of what I was expecting in game 2. I wish I could say I was a little bit surprised, but Windber, they took a little bit to warm up, but now you can see they're feeling comfortable on the attack. They're starting to trust each other that little bit more. The spacing has been improved, particularly on that offensive side of the pitch, and even when they have a 3rd man back, it's only just behind that midfield line because they understand the tempo of the game. Windber definitely looking like the more improved team, despite that unforced error into the demo. They're not perfect, but they're looking better now.
Bird with a nice save though, given to Step Bro, but Exxon able to be in the right spot. See it though, being the one for the clear. Just sends it wide. Young Robo now in his own corner, trying to find an opening. Kind of just slides down, giving it to WASD, and Young Robo able to put it into the corner. Step Bro able to pop it towards the wall, trying to give it to Exxon. And Exxon able to get the pass up to Young Robo in front of the net. Didn't look like Penn had really anybody in the net. Yeah, Cetheus was the closest one to being the defender, but they were on the wall to the right of the net, so that kind of left the net open for that passing play.
Yeah, I would say Burb had a chance as well, but was a little bit too slow on that. And I don't want to be too critical of Penn Trafford in that situation. There's just a lot of attacking pressure. Then again, Burb just kind of beaten out on that 1v1. And this is starting to get a little bit rough for the Penn Trafford side. This game's already sort of slipped away from them, and it just comes from being that team that's a minuscule bit slower, unfortunately, than their opponents. You can try to counteract this, obviously, by, a little bit better boost management and sometimes actually being more proactive in stealing boosts away, but that can sometimes leave you a member down. And when you're kind of getting beat down like this, you're going to be a bit more hesitant sometimes to take those risks. Just a very unfortunate situation right now for the Penn Trafford side.
And even with Burb, he was the last one back in that last shot, and yeah, he got beat. But it looked like they were a little bit out of rotation. At least Sea of Thieves looked like they might have been. They were coming underneath the ball as Burb was going up for it. And okay, Young Robo, I saw that, Musty. Just
yep. Casual.
Slow down.
Yeah.
So we're trying to catch up on the last play. We're working our way there. Exion now trying to go for a passing play. Nice little single, but Burb might be able to get a double indeed. A nice little pinch though to get out, but wasn't enough. Exion trying to get it, but see if he's able to clear it. WASD into the corner, giving it to Burb. Burb a little awkward trying to get it out, but Step Bro able to get the clear. And as I say that, Exion able to get there, might try to get the block. See if these are the clear, that might be dangerous. But Young Robo able to get the save. And a nice demo coming out from CFDs might give him a chance, but Exion able to get the block and able to follow it all the way up. CFDs gets the miss, but Step Bro able to be there in support. Might have a chance here, and a shot, and Step Bro able to put it into the back of the net.
Yeah, so Windber was spreading up the pitch, I feel like, a fair bit more than they were before, and that's all well and good, and I kind of like that from the team because they were doing it to sort of increase the tempo of the match. But if you make one mistake with the spread out field, it means you get less recovery time for sort of your follow-up defenders to come through, and you saw right there is one of the few moments in this game where Penn Trafford was in fact that faster team. They beat that one defender back because of the spaced out field, and result, a goal for Penn Trafford. So really well done again, Penn Trafford. They're super good at capitalizing on Windber's mistakes. The problem is they're making less and less as the series progresses. As another passing goal goes through, we are one goal away from a scoreline.
And it looks like Windber might be looking for that Brazil right now. And with 2 minutes left, they definitely have the time to do so. But now, Penn State not really seeing much of what we saw in the first game. But even though in that first game, it was mainly CFDs getting those clears that were definitely helpful, and CFDs able to get a nice save off the post.
Dunk as well from Step Bro.
Step Bro able to get the dunk, but Young Robo coming in off the ceiling. Okay, again with the musty. We're fine. Verb though trying to get the clear. Oh, the fake coming out from Exion. Oh my word, these poor people.
Yeah, it's rough out there right now. It's not going great for Penn Trafford in some of these situations as the ball is going to slowly roll around. No one plays for it, especially Step Bro. Will Burb just sitting on boost, waiting for it to spawn. Oh, if that's where we're at right now on the Penn Trafford side, we have problems.
Boost over ball all the time. That's what I've known. Ball doesn't matter. As long as you have boost, you're fine.
Well,
no, in some cases it's not going to help you, but if the ball's rolling into your net, you're waiting for boost. Oh well. Young Robot trying to go for that double touch. Oh.
So it actually comes to a problem, and this is one of the reasons why I've actually been kind of watching the Windber sort of outpace the Penn Trafford side. Pay attention to the small boosts, not the main boosts. Penn Trafford, they don't really go to collect them. They don't make the small adjustments to kind of get these little things on their way to the ball, whereas Windber, absolutely will. And that can make all the difference when it comes to being that faster team. Case in point, we saw it before when Bird is sitting on the full boost as opposed to collecting the 4 smaller boosts around the situation, which keeps you mobile, keeps you in a better position to be reactive. So if I were to give any instantaneous advice to the Penn Trafford side to improve their sort of tempo, it's 100% start collecting those smaller boost pads because they can help you out. I mean, even in this goal replay, watch what Step Bro gets right before putting it in the net. Spoilers, it's that small boost pad.
And it was just enough for him to get that height and able to put it right into the net. That is definitely what they needed to get, and I know exactly what you're talking about. But yeah, you can go for a big boost. Like if you were to take it, like if Thieves were to take it up the wall right there, the mid boost, the 100, perfect spot. You can go ahead and grab it. But when you're trying to keep up with a team like Windber, you definitely want to aim for those smaller boost pads and to know where they are on the pitch. Because that can give you that speed, even though you're only picking up 12, but 12 can do a whole lot more than you think it could in the long run.
Absolutely, as eventually we should see this ball hit the ground, or not, we're actually going to see
Actually, I might look for another one. Off the backboard, Young Robo might try it, sends it up again. Tries to put it up, he would have put it off the backboard, but Exion and WASD bump right in front of the net. And the ball dies at Windber. Take game 2. Ooh, Windber's definitely starting to show their colors.
Dominant game number 2 right now. 5 shots to 15, I think tells the story of that game. Windber just out of the gates at the start of that second game, found 5 goals in the first minute and a half. And it was just, you know, finding a strong kickoff, connecting with the teammate, a lot more passing plays than we saw in our first game. Granted, the best goal of the series so far probably is going to be Young Burrow's double, or sorry, no, it was the reset into the dunk. That was still a fantastic goal. And again, Young Burrow with those aerial dribbles is still right up there as one of the better players, I think, possibly in this league, if we're going to go by individual skill sets. This is a tough one for me for Penn Trafford because, as I mentioned before, they find their goals off of Windber's mistakes, but they're making less and less. And unless we see a drastic decline in quality from the Windber side mechanically and individually, I don't see a way how Penn Trafford gets back in this.
I could definitely see that, but one thing, like what you mentioned during that last game, is like we even saw Burb doing it, sitting on the boost, waiting for it to spawn. That could be helpful if the ball was on the other side of the pitch, but if the ball is still coming, is like if you're going against Windberg, who is offensively strong and able to keep the ball and the pace going, you definitely want to not just sit on the boost, but aim for those small pads, know where they're at, because then you could even just like you said, 4 of them could do a lot as compared to 100 and just sitting there and waiting for the ball to come towards you.
I'd go so far as say there's never really a moment where you should be sitting on a boost pad for that long. And even if the ball's going to the other side, it goes back to the notion if you want to press up more towards the middle of the field, a powerful shot from Young Robo, going to make this 1-0 for Windber.
Nice 63 miles per hour. A nice pass coming in from WASD, and Young Robo able to be there, put it into the net. Not really anybody from Penn Trafford able to be there. It looked like Seppo might have been coming from the 100 boost pad trying to get out, but wasn't able to get there in time to get the block.
So you said something that I'm going to hold you accountable for, and I'm sorry about this, but what is this miles per hour junk? All right, like, and I made the same joke last time, but I stand by it. Imperial system is whack, yo, all about those kilometers per hour, and it was 101, triple digit sick. This one, 106, triple digit sick. It's so much better when you can say, yeah, 106 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, but when it comes to like when you get like the 113 miles per hour goal, it's really satisfying to see that.
When has that happened?
It happened in one of my games a couple days ago. It was a snow day, so that helps.
Oh, but, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
you
exactly,
crazy
exactly.
pitches on that puck.
Nah, just getting carried by a couple of guys. But we're just gonna completely ignore like the double dunk coming out from Windberg on top of Step Bro. We're just nah.
I mean, Step Bro would probably prefer it if we didn't bring that up, so I was trying to do them a solid, but no, you had to ruin their day like that. That was a interesting goal. I don't like the double dunks. I don't like double commits like that. They always make me nervous. However, credit to Windber for actually jumping on a situation and trying to find that goal right there. Still a relatively even game, although after that initial goal from Penn Trafford, we haven't really seen them on attack since.
Young Robo trying to go for that nice flip reset. Wasn't able to get it. Gets blocked in the process. See if Themes with the clear. Definitely the one to watch for the clear. Oh, nice block coming in from Stepbro. Able to send it to their corner. Nobody from Penn really following that. Burb gets beat. CT is able to get the clear, send it back towards the wall. Burb has a chance here, but it's met by WASD. And WASD able to get the clear over Stepbro, and CT uses backwards, which puts him in a really awkward position. And in the process, Young Robo is able to capitalize on that after the clear from WASD.
Yeah, we just take a look at that. And well played shot once again. Top left corner, right on through. Young Robo, every single touch has just seemed to be on the point right now. And I do kind of feel as if this game is going to once again slip out of reach again, unless we start seeing a bunch of egregious missteps coming from the Windber side. They just seem to be the more experienced team in this matchup. And as we kind of mentioned at the start of the broadcast, that experience, it's going to go far in a league like this. It's why they're painted as one of the favorites. It's why they're still undefeated right now, as that's another great pass to WASD.
What a pass indeed. Exion able to come in off the wall, and a nice little redirect coming out from WASD. Able to put it into that bottom right bin. That was absolutely beautiful. Even if somebody was in net, the chance of them getting that would have been pretty slim. They would have had a chance, but it would have been slim with how accurate and position that was. And now Exion looking to pass it again. Might try to get it to mid to give it to Young Robo. Young Robo patiently waiting, and instead scores Stepbro into the net. Not really a car that looks like the ball, but it can work. Young Robo for a flip reset, able to put it just wide of the net. And see if he was trying to get the clear, but WASD Esport able to get the touch instead. Young Robo now looking to follow, gets another flip reset, but gets blocked by Sea of Thieves and by Stepbro. Stepbro now with wall control, looking to take it all the way, gets a nice double flick to Burb, but WASD is the third back and just got back from rotation in time to get the block, and now able to go on the counter. Able to get it past two. Young Robo trying to get it, but Stepbro blocks him. Getting it to Exion, but that ball is in a dangerous spot, especially with Young Robo thinking about going out for that. Changes their mind in the process. He's able to get a nice clear, but it doesn't have the boost to keep going. Stepbro and Burb are both back. Interesting positioning coming out from Penn. Don't really know purpose for having two back like that, because Thieves was just on their own. Now Stepbro, both, it looks like Burb and Stepbro were trying to rotate back just then, but couldn't really tell exactly.
They were just in a weird part of their rotation. I don't think there was anything egregiously wrong about the positioning they were in, except for the fact that they're a little bit too close together. It was just kind of in case there was a bit of a dribbler shot underneath, and had that been a mistouch, actually they would have been in a good position to find a counter. So sometimes if a position seems odd, it's not necessarily the worst thing in the world. It becomes a bit of a concern though when it's either the third member or there's multiple people in that same sort of awkward space. And I feel like trying to put yourself in a position to capitalize on your opponent's mistakes, which has kind of been Penn Trafford's bread and butter so far in the series. I'm not going to be critical of that, and that's another dunk from Stepbro, who is going to find a goal right here. 2-goal game, 58 seconds remaining, perhaps a late sign of life coming from Penn Trafford.
Yeah, kind of just looking at it, it looks like, I think it was Exion had a shot opportunity, but Young Robo kind of just puts it right underneath Exion, and WASD isn't able to pop it or get the 50 in time, giving it. Young Robo looking for that 100 boost. Great. I don't know if I want to say that was a Rule 1 fully. They didn't really stick to it.
I'll say it wasn't. That was not Rule 1.
There's your answer. There's your answer, ladies and gentlemen. It wasn't. We'll stick with it. Young Robo trying to get the clear. Has a little too much momentum, but Exion now has a chance, and Robo giving his team in a nice little push, helping him out. Burb able to get the block, giving it up to the wall. WASD able to go off the wall, passing it back to Exion maybe. Exion able to get the clear. Stepbro went for boost, and the net is open, and it is in. Nice shot coming out from Exion.
So I'm not going to be critical of the timing of the decision to go for the boost, but the problem is they went for the flip to get to the boost faster. And I remember talking to Zen, currently of Team Bliss right now in OCE, so no one should know who that is. But I was talking to Zen about it, and yeah, full on, that's a big mistake that a lot of people in sort of the mid-tier ranks actually make, thinking that, you know, if you flip to get boosts, you're going to put yourself in a better position because of those moments right there. Yes, you might be getting there faster, but you're inhibiting your response time by about a second. And that 1 second that you lose in being unable to respond is actually so much worse than maybe being a 1/10 of a second slower to a boost pad. So it's great that we got to see that in action right there. Had Step Bro not been flipping, there's a chance they could have made a tight cut, been able to make that save. So for something that you people are out there thinking about, you know, trying to climb and trying to keep that faster pace and to be reactive, don't always flip for boost. You never know when a ball could be coming your way.
That is definitely an incredibly true of how accurate that is. Yeah, you're getting there faster, but especially after you land it, yeah, you're going to have 100 boosts, but you're going to be working your way up the wall, which can kill your momentum and your speed to get back towards the net, or even just to get back into the action, which definitely showed up there for Penn, Trafford, and Step Bro. But Windberg showing that they are definitely ones to watch and not to be trifled with. They were able to take the dub.
Yeah, they are. It's a
3-0.
big 3-0 victory for Windber. So very well done to them. But that's only our first game of the afternoon. We still have 3 more to go. So we're going to be throwing it to a break. When we come back, our other undefeated team, one Forest Hills, are going to be taking on the 1-1 Bishop Central. Not going to want to miss that. So do stay with us. More high school league when we return. Welcome back, everybody. It was a one-sided affair, dare I say, in our first match of the day. Windber coming out on top of Penn Trafford, 3-0 to remain. Well, 3-0. We're not much for variety, I suppose, at least not yet at this stage. Perhaps our second game can add a bit more spice into this mix we are brewing. Bishop Carroll taking on the undefeated Forest Hills, trying to chase after Windber in this one. Granticus, do you think we're going to be seeing 2 teams atop the ladder today?
Ooh, I can definitely see it. The Forest Hills is like Windber. I might start off a bit like a seesaw, kind of going back and forth, but then once Forest Hills gets into the groove, it might be like Windber and just end it here.
I mean,
so interested to see what Bishop Carroll can do right back.
Yeah, I'll be excited to see what Bishop Carroll can do. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, forces that be behind the scenes, but I believe Forest Hills was the defending champions of this league before, so they do kind of come in with that expectation that she should be able to make that deep run once again. I might be mistaken. I don't know. My memory, it's going with my age, dare I say. And before I linger too long, before things get too rough, I do want to try and get these players onto the pitch as fast as possible. But let's get a little crazy. Let's throw up some predictions because I'm feeling good about Forest Hills. I'm thinking they're going to win this one as well, especially after watching Windber. I think we could be seeing another 3-0, unfortunately.
I could definitely see that as well. But yeah, I don't know. Bishop Carroll might have a little something up their sleeve, so we can see. We're gonna see what happens though.
Yeah, that we will. As just going to go ahead and break the fourth wall and get those players. Hey, go when, ignore my typo, go when ready. And then we will be getting onto that pitch. Now, it will be a blue versus green side this time around. Bishop Carroll will be the blue team. Forest Hills will be the team in green. Of course, Bishop Carroll, it's going to consist of BC Esports, Boy Racing, and Lukey. Forest Hills will be giving you hail the Mega Blaziken and Vaco. Vaco is that player to look out for.
Yeah, already a great start. Lukey able to come in off the wall, trying to get a nice going. The Mega able to get a nice little pinch play with Raku. Mega able to get a nice little aerial. Just a little sketchy, but it works, and able to get a nice shot. Able to put it top bins. Not gonna really give anybody from Bishop Carroll a chance to get up to that in time. A great shot coming out.
I mean, Lukey was there in time, and in fact was actually a little bit too quick to it. So good job, and oh my gosh, kickoff's gonna go in as well. No! Open net miss giving you hail. That's a little bit awkward.
That is just unlucky.
Yeah.
Like the only thing you're gonna really say is it was just unlucky. Another shot opportunity, but Boy Racing able to get a nice little clear, nice little pinch, giving you hail, able to be there, able to put it back into Bishop Carroll's corner. Both teams trying to struggle to get it going one direction, but it might just roll in, but Lukey changes his mind and says no, and able to get it clear, trying to get it out. Nice pinch to the opposite side of Bishop Carroll's half. Doctor able to get a nice little pass. Mega trying to put it into the bottom left. It's unable to get the connection. Now Mega trying to get another touch. Able to put it mid and giving you hands. Just barely misses. Lukey now looking to get the clear. Sends it high. Might try to go up for it. Goes up for it. The Blazing just barely misses it. And now Boy Racing trying to get it past. Mega able to be there for it, giving you hail, tries to go up for it, just barely misses, and a nice shot coming out from Vaco, able to put it to the right, where none of the defenders for Bishop Carroll were at, giving Forest Hills that 2-goal lead.
There was 4 missed open nets, 2 complete whiffs on the ball, and about 3 shots that bounced off the post that realistically should have gone in. That was very sloppy, and that was all from the Forest Hills side, the team that's leading right now. Bishop Carroll has opportunities to get themselves back in this game, even though it might be 2-0 right now in favor of Forest Hills, and even though Forest Hills is probably looking like the more complete team at this stage, these little uncharacteristic mistakes from our favorites, they could come back to be punishing later. So if you're Bishop Carroll, don't be discouraged just yet. Your opponents, they seem a little bit off. That said, giving you hail did just make it 3-0.
Needed a nice little shot. Mega able to get a nice little pass towards mid and giving you hail. Is able to send it right to the crossbar, hits the bar, bounces down and goes in, giving them that 3-goal lead. And we're just underneath 3 minutes left here in the first game. Kickoff in favor of Forest Hills, but as I say it, Lukey getting a nice clear. Vaco though able to get the clear. Vaco definitely trying to see some of that air roll coming out as compared to what some of the other players are doing on the field. But can't really say that much because it's still working for him right now. Forest Hills giving you hail. Tactical whiff it might have been, giving it to Blaze. But in the process, Vaco now has control, able to send it out of the reach. BC Esports might be able to get a touch. Gets just over on Boy Racing with a nice clear down to Mega. Mega able to get the pop over one. Trying to go for a second, is able to do so. Vaco now able to get the pass towards mid, and Blaze just barely misses it, giving it to Hale. Mega trying to put it back, and now it's going up the center wall. Tries to go for the pinch, isn't able to do it. Vaco trying to follow it, able to get a nice read off the try. I'm getting tongue-tied now.
Yeah, that's all right. There's a lot of action going on right there. Well, like, at the end of the day, though, I think the consistent sort of theme so far throughout this game has just been pure control right now. Coming from the Forest Hills side and kind of playing at a level where even when they make these unforced mistakes, they're still going to be the next team to the ball, and they're still going to be kind of in control of the situation. Although, this could be the opening right here. Lukey just a bit too small to it, slow to it, and their jump was a little bit too small. Look, the big thing for Bishop Carroll and where they're kind of lacking behind, I'm going to go back to sort of a recurring trend, I feel like, through this league. We are seeing an experience gap right now in this one, as Vaco's going to go for the air dribble in, where we're not seeing the confidence from Bishop Carroll to kind of play forward and challenge a lot of Forest Hills touches, or in some instances, missed touches. I think if we're going to see eventually Bishop Carroll start to bring this one back, they're going to have to take more risks, particularly in their defensive gameplay, because right now, they're just letting Forest Hills do whatever they want to do.
Especially with like you said, like, yeah, there's those whiffs that are coming out every now and then. Like, they're coming from Forest Hill, but also coming out a bit from Bishop Carroll. but the only difference between them is that Forest Hill has that aggression, able to keep it going. Bishop Carroll's been kind of, they're more on like the defensive. They hold back. When they realize they're gonna get beat, they're just gonna turn around. Like BC Esports was able to get the touch right there, but not all the way. And now all three of them are right on top of one another. All a little awkward. Two of them in net. It looks like a nice double commit coming out from BC Carroll to try to get that clear. And BC Esports just drove past the ball, and Vaco just got a goal, and it rolled right in. It's interesting.
It's that experience difference. I mean, I wish there was a kind of different way to put it, but realistically, if you're going to be able to beat a team like Forest Hills, you can't let those types of shots get through. You have to make the... Oh, no! Why are you going for, like, no-man kickoffs when down 6-0? I just... Yeah, it's an experience difference, unfortunately, in this opening game. And unless we see something incredibly drastic change in our second game, this could be a very rough day for our team in blue.
It's not just on top of that. It's like, we definitely saw within the first couple minutes of this game, BC didn't really have that like aggression as compared to Forest Hills. They're more on that, like I said earlier, the defensive side. But they also have those whiffs that happen every now and then they start to have a couple of double commits. Lukey, though, with the chance, able to get the 50, keeping it on Forest Hill's side. Doesn't read just right. Neither does giving you Hale. Lukey able to get a nice clear, sends it just wide of the net, giving it to Mega. Mega now might have a chance, gets blocked by BC Esports. Vaco trying to get the clear. Mega able to do it. Looks like Forest might try to go for another goal, but a mistouch kills the first game, and Forest Hills takes game one in a landslide.
Yeah, 7-0, and that's game one. That's with a plethora of unforced errors for the start of the game for the Forest Hills side. There's a reason why this team is sort of the defending champ. There's a reason why this team is the favorite, one of the favorites, I should say, to maybe go all the way right now. And for Bishop Carroll, they're playing a lot of catch-up in this matchup. So, going to be a bit rough where we go from here as to whether or not Bishop Carroll's going to be able to bring it back. Personally, I just want to see him score a goal. It's small steps, right? They don't need to win this series. They don't even need to win a game right now when you look at this skill difference. I just want to see if they can put themselves in position to score a goal. That's going to be my target for Bishop Carroll, and they've got 2, maybe even 3 games to do it if things really go their way.
Definitely true. Because we could already see, it's like, in the background, I just saw Vaco's nice air dribble off the wall. And it's like, the main thing, I know we mentioned it a couple of times, was just the difference between the play styles. Like Bishop Carroll, more on the defensive. They're not really that aggressive, but Forest Hills, or being like the team to be out there. They had control over the whole entire field, which gave them those shot opportunities and gave them those 7 goals. So Forest Hill's definitely showing that they are the stronger seed right now of where they're at. But now Bishop Carroll and Forest Hill's going into game 2, looking to see what Bishop can do now. So getting ready to jump in. The players are on the field, and we're starting the countdown now.
I want to push back a little bit on the notion that, like, you know, Bishop Carroll is not a passive team, but like a non-aggressive team. Yes, they've been struggling to have boosts, and they haven't really had much time to attack as opening kickoff goes straight to Vaco and in. But I don't think it's because they're not necessarily trying to play a more passive style. They're just always out of boost. They've always been boost starved. And they've still been going for challenges, but a lot of the challenges have just been straight up missing. And you look at this and you go like, oh, this entire game was played on the blue side of the pitch. That must mean they're a defensive team. It's like, well, not really. They just haven't been able to make contact with the ball even when they do make plays for it. Although I would say, yes, at the start of the series, they were playing more defensive. They did get a little bit more proactive later into that first game, but just a lot of swings and misses like that, and the end result is a team that looks like more passive than they may actually be.
That Mega with a nice shot opportunity, but Luki able to get the save. It's just rolling in, and with that, Mega's able to get the second goal, giving Forest Hills that 2-goal lead. We saw plenty of time.
Yeah, I mean, it's 2 quick goals in this one. Not too surprising. Every kickoff just seems to wind up in Forest Hills' possession, and then they can do whatever they want with it. So It's again, yeah, it's a one-sided affair. And these things happen, and when this happens, the mind starts to wander. And when the mind starts to wander, then you make even more sort of little mistakes, and then you shoot an own goal. That's just how it happens.
Yeah.
That was a good pass. It was good.
Yeah.
It was as if I knew it was about to happen right there. Oh, look, another goal. There's another one.
Rocco got a nice Rocco's definitely one of the faster players on this pitch, and that definitely shows it. Able to beat VC to the kickoff, and able to put it right into the net. Interesting to see what happens now. Kickoff now in favor of Bishop, but looking to see what they can do for it. Plays able to get the clear and able to send it down the pitch. Able to give it, trying to put it towards mid, or might go for a solo play. Wasn't able to get the control in the air that they wanted to do so, but we're just seeing this once again. Forest Hills being that team to control where the ball is going and what it's doing, and almost everything else that's on the pitch. Shot opportunity though coming in from Boy Racing. Mega Blaze now looking for a shot, able to pop it up. And Hale tries to go up for it, tries to fake it. Now Mookie able to take it towards the wall, trying to put it in maybe, but isn't able to get it above the Forest Hill defender. Rocco, I can definitely feel that pain right there. Tries to go for that nice aerial, but the weird bounce off the corner definitely kills, but it doesn't matter at this point, because then you have Mega and giving you Hale able to come in with a nice passing play off the backboard. Hale put it in, making the score 5-0, and we're just approaching the 3 minutes left.
Yep. I mean, it was just an extended attack play that eventually found the net. I wouldn't even call that backboard sort of a pass. It was just sort of a shot that went high, and then once again getting off that rebound for Hills, the team that gets their first. It's very unfortunate. Again, look for Bishop Carroll, but hey, they've gotten one shot in this game. Maybe they'll find another. There's still some time left. The goal result that we want is points, as Boy Racing actually had a little bit of a breakaway, so there was a chance. They couldn't quite straighten it out, unfortunately, and I'm seeing something that I really don't want to see from Bishop Carroll. That's a dedicated goalkeeper. BC Esports sitting in the net, despite now shots coming on target from Lukey.
Yeah, we saw that a bit even last game with Penn Trafford. They got to the point where they said, oh wait, no, I think that was Windber, wasn't it? I think it was in the first game where they had like the big booming clears from Sea of Thieves that gave. Yeah, so now we're trying to see what can happen here. But yeah, having that dedicated goalkeeper is definitely dangerous. Then especially when like Lukey and Boy Racing, they might have a chance to get like a double pass. Like they might send the ball too high, but then their third is all the way back. No position to try to take a shot. But a nice try clear. Lukey just barely misses the ball, and Giving You Hell capitalizes on that mistake from Lukey, giving him a net to work with, and with that, Forest Hill increased their lead by 6.
6-0 out in front right now. Still just over 100 seconds remaining in our second game, and then we will have our third. Our two undefeated teams have showed up so far today, though. I think it's safe to say, in particular, Forest Hills, they're just looking a cut above Bishop Carroll, unfortunately. And for Bishop Carroll, I mean, that's why there's all these teams with different experience in this league. So even though they might be having a rough one today because of that round-robin format, they will have a chance to play against some teams more akin to their own experience level, as Vaco actually pushed one through. I mean, you have to remember, Bishop Carroll, they had won a series prior to this, right? So it's not as if they are winless. It's just Forest Hills that step above.
You can definitely see that. Now, what I'm starting to wonder, are Forest Hills going to let Bishop Carroll score for the Brazil?
I hope not.
That...
I hope not. I don't like that.
That's what I'm starting to worry about now. Oh my, nope, never mind, they're not.
No mercy. No mercy allowed. Just keep adding goals to that list as you can see Mega Blaziken just drive that from the middle of the field. All the power behind it. 2 defenders can't get there in time. 8-0 lead.
Definitely seen that. As compared to the first game, or like the first game series that we watched, they were definitely more, had a little bit of a chance, kind of going back and forth. But then it was just after a while, but definitely Forest Hills, like you said, showing why they're one of the top teams in this league right now, going 2-0, looking to make it 3-0 here in this series. But I don't know, Bishop Carroll might try to at least take one with them for the road. We have a chance. Lukey with a nice 50, able to send it high. Rocket just barely misses, but
they're still playing goalkeepers. Like, whenever that ball is going to get to the middle of the field, they're never going to be there first because they're playing goalkeepers right now. So all what the Forest Hills defense has to do is just get any sort of semi-deep, not super deep, but like a delicate touch towards the middle of the pitch, and they're going to win out, and they're going to be able to set themselves up for an attack. It's why you can't play so far back on defense all the time. You give up so much of the field, and against a team like Forest Hills, they're going to punish you each and every time for it.
yeah, and there we go. Mega Blaziken's taking one more with them. I don't know if Forest Hills might try to go for those double digits, but with 1 second left, it just depends on how kickoff goes. We're getting ready to see what happens. Giving you hell, and Vaco, definitely the ones to go for kickoff. Might bounce up, but it doesn't. It bounces out. Forest Hills still take the game 9-0.
Yep. Dominant performance. And the thing that scares me the most about that game is the shot percentage, actually. Because, yeah, 9 goals scored, don't get me wrong, but only 12 shots taken. And I know, obviously, only 12 shots, right? That's a lot of shots. But I think the scarier thing is that 75% shot percentage going through. If a team is doing that to you, like, it doesn't matter how few shots they take. They're putting a lot of points on the board. And for Bishop Carroll, a team with only 3 shots, like, it's not a good sign. It's not a good sign at all, unfortunately. Bishop Carroll needs to be a bit more proactive, particularly around that middle of the pitch. I don't like seeing those goalkeepers. When they have those opportunities, they need to be willing to commit to those opportunities. Otherwise, the middle of the field is going to stay green. It's going to stay Forest Hills, and we're going to see a very, very decisive 3-0 victory.
And even their dedicated goalkeeper, I think it was BC Esports, you can kind of tell it's just, I agree with you on the fact, like, it's not really the wisest thing to have a dedicated goalkeeper. Like, if you're going to have somebody hang back like that, you might want to put them, but I wouldn't even do that in the long run. Just have them closer to midfield, because then they can help you with your rotations. On top of that, somebody come in while the person in midfield takes control of the ball.
You know what? I think what we're learning today is if I'm ever to be like a coach of an ice hockey team, I'm pulling the goalie at the start of the game, all right? Like, we're just 6 players on, let's go. If I'm coaching of, like, soccer or football team, yeah, you know, my goalie's the one running it, driving it down the pitch. They're not staying in the box, all right? Goalkeepers, overrated. Let's change traditional sport as well as esports and just ban all goalkeepers.
Definitely an interesting,
Well, it's like the NFL coach, right? That always goes for it on 4th down no matter what. Like, stop things, like, start taking more risks and everything. Go down in a blaze of glory or look like the smartest person ever. I don't know. I want to take that risk. I don't understand why I'm not invited to coach anymore. By the way, that's a 1-0 lead. Mega Blaziken, very well done.
Segue. Talking about how taking out the goalkeeper would be the definite thing if he was coach, and then, yeah, nice shot, Mega Blaziken.
I'm more passionate about removing goalkeepers from games like Rocket League than I am about a team that has already put together, what was it? They got 8 in the first game, 9 in the second, so yeah, that was their 18th goal. Yeah, no, it's, at this stage, we've seen this act. We get it. They can score goals. Their shots are accurate. They're very, very good. They're a very good team. Well done, A++.
Most definitely. At this point, I would almost, I don't want to say it, but I kind of want to just see it. Even if Bishop Carroll's like, at this point, they have nothing to lose. Because if they lose this, then the series is over. At this point, they can, if they got more aggressive, Like, yeah, double committing is not good, but when you're down as far as you are right now, it might, I wouldn't say double commit, but just pull out that aggression, take out the goalkeeper, like you said. Come on, like, full formal, just take the goalkeeper out of the goal, put him on midfield or as a shooter or a striker, and just send them all the way down. Just keep going. At this point, might as well just do it, but here comes Vaco, able to send it just wide. BC Esports, though, able to get the touch, send it into the corner. And Vaco able to put it right back down and giving you Hale. Able to come in. Couldn't really tell where they came from.
Middle of the pitch.
Almost looked like they came down from the ceiling, just the way that he came.
Yeah, no, it was right down the middle. It was a little bit unfortunate right there for the Bishop Carroll, as all their members were trying to play defense along that goal line. Something that is a little bit of a awkward position. That's the goal! No! Oh, I thought that was it for Lukey. But no, the one thing about Bishop Carroll that's a bit of a concern for them, I think, moving forward as well, is they have zero aerial game, unfortunately. And with teams with more experience that actually have developed that a fair bit more, every time that ball gets elevated, you can see that the team in blue is at a disadvantage. Hey, look, they got another own goal.
Ooh.
That was a good shot. That was a very good shot. Look, if you're going to get an own goal, that's how you want to do it, right?
That's how own goals are. It's like, I don't know if this is for anyone else, but some of my best goals I've ever scored have been on my own net. Usually by accident, but that looks really good. Like,
look, all I need to say is I'm from OCE, okay? We know a thing or two about own goals. Bump play, and it's off the post.
Boy racing, got turned it backwards. Back up. Yeah, you can definitely see, kind of going back to your point with how this ship they don't have any of that aerial game, which is definitely something, especially going against a team like Forest Hills, is definitely something you need and want to have. Because half the time, especially in that first game, we saw Vaco. He came in off the wall and got a nice air dribble, but nobody from Bishop Carroll really went up for it or could do anything about it. Boy Racing getting a little brave there. A little bit of an aerial. Now Mega Blades able to pop it over one, but isn't able to get it past BC. Vaco able to clear it into their own corner. BC might try to go for it. Does a tactical whip, able to give it to Lukey instead, but Vaco able to take it, bounces wide, but is able to get that read off the wall. Lukey now over into the corner. Lukey going for the boost at mid, which can help them right here. Tries to take it. Mega Blazing a little awkward, but Vaco able to get him out of that awkward situation. Missile coming out for Boy Caroline. BC misses the ball, and Vaco is able to capitalize on the double whiff from Bishop Caroline and increase their lead to 4 with just barely over a minute left.
I saw something that I don't want to highlight, but I'm just going to say, Boy Racing, I saw what happened in the corner. I was watching you there. I saw that. A little bit awkward, but it's okay. And I'm not talking about missing the touch. I'm talking about what happened 5 seconds before that. Either way, under a minute to go. Forest Hills 4-0 lead, and that's the goal that we wanted to see. Redemption for Boy Racing as they get one, a much needed point. Bishop Carroll, they're going to be happy about that.
Dude, how many people can say, especially after the series that Bishop Caroline has had, they're able to say we've scored one on Forest Hills. Definitely something to feel good about. Well, another shot opportunity for Boy Racing, gets cleared. Lukey tries to get a touch, but isn't able to send it to that point. Now, Boy Racing looking to put it back towards middle. Boy Racing definitely started to come out of the shell a bit here, but Vaco doesn't want to have any of it. We see BC Esports now sitting in the back as a goalkeeper once again. Vaco got a flip reset almost. Lukey now with the shot opportunity, just barely misses the ball, and Vaco able to put it into the corner. Mega tries to get the clear. Looked to try to get a pinch, but wasn't able to do it. Now Boy Racing able to get the touch, sending it to the corner. but the Mega Blaziken able to get the clear, giving it to Vaco. Vaco now going for the shot, but gets blocked by Boy Racing, and Forest Hill take the series 3-0.
3-0 dominant series for them. If you wanted to go by goals scored as well, it would have been 21-1. Hey, just like the Undertaker streak, Boy Racing, nice Brock Lesnar impression right there, becoming the 1 in the 21-1, but wasn't enough to get them that ticket to WrestleMania. Definitely not enough to win them this match. So very well played by the Forest Hill side, once again maintaining that undefeated record, and we still eagerly await that battle, which will eventually come between our two undefeated sides. That, of course, are game one winners of Windber taking on Forest Hills. That's not happening yet. Not happening for a little while. So, looking back on this one, though, Bishop Carroll, I feel like I want to see him play against a team that's more matched to them so we can get a better idea of where this team actually sits, because it never felt like they were allowed to play Rocket League this game.
Yeah, you could definitely tell. Just Forest Hills was definitely that more like stronger and just more aggressive team to the player. They really didn't give Bishop Carroll any room
No.
to even try to do anything with the ball. And when they did, you had like those small whiffs that came out every now and then that definitely kind of hit them hard. But especially in that second game, the 9-0 from Forest Hills was just showing like that they are.
Yeah, it was rough. It was a rough one, but that's why we're still only halfway through this regular season. So they'll have times to bounce back, just like we're going to bounce back. When we return, it's going to be Berlin Brothers Valley taking on Gateway. More towards the bottom of the ladder we go. Perhaps a bit more competitive matches we will hope to see when we return. Welcome back, everybody. I wish I had good news saying we're about to get ready to jump into game, but unfortunately, we've had a little bit of a hiccup in regards to scheduling. I'm assuming, I don't know the finer details, Grant. What I do know is, unfortunately, our stream's going to be coming to an end early today.
Definitely something we don't like to see, but
yeah, it's not
definitely
an ideal situation. Unfortunately, Berlin weren't able to field a full team of 3 players, so they have had to reschedule this matchup today. And due to difficulties happening later as well, there's also a result that has already been decided due to external circumstances. So essentially, our last 2 games, they've already happened or are being rescheduled again. The finer details of it, not really sure where they're at, but what we do know is they're not going to be played on stream today. But that's okay, because we're still going to pick up everything in the same place next week as well. Same bat place, same bat channel right here. So do drop that follow if you do want to tune in. Also, it should be worth noting, starting tomorrow at 3:30 p.m. as well, the Overwatch season will be continuing. Div 1 will be at the esports company. Meanwhile, Div 2 will be taking place right here at TEC High School League. You can drop !mark socials so you can follow along with the esports company High School League and see those socials, and you'll get those live notifications when these events are on right now. And now is when we can plug our own socials, Grant. I haven't actually done that in a while. We should plug while we can.
to do that, all you got to do is do !casters, and that will give you the.
You can't though, because it's on emote only chat. So you have to say it yourself.
Dude, that's a.
That's funny.
I don't even know how. Yeah.
Yep.
Uh,
So what is your social? What is your Twitter? Drop it. Drop it.
I guess I can.
Oh, there we go. We're free. We're free. We were allowed to
Yeah.
post a Twitch chat. There we go. Oh, good. But yeah, you can see exclamation mark
You're
socials.
good.
You can see that exclamation mark casters. I'm going to do that myself as well. You can go ahead and check us out right there. Yeah, that's Granticus011 and Formal Casting. Do you have any big casts coming up at all?
Me, I do not. How about you?
Yeah, I've got little tidbits of things if you're interested at all in,
One of things.
high school stuff here, but that's neither here nor there. I think at the end of the day, though, we do have to sort of wrap this one up. So again, thank you all for tuning in. Just a quick recap of the results that we were able to see on stream today. It was our two undefeated teams once again finding victories. Windber winning 3-0 over Penn Trafford, followed by Forest Hills winning 3-0 over Bishop Carroll. So the two undefeated teams, they seem on that crash course. Eventually, they will have to play each other. Till then, though, I have been Formal. Joining me has been Grant. One last time, a big thank you for tuning in. A big thank you to Smart Methods behind the scenes doing the broadcasting as well as trying to sort out all of the sort of hiccups that was happening scheduling-wise. And until next week, we'll see you out there on the pitch.